Welcome, truly. Welcome to this sacred space. I want you to think of our time together, not just as an explainer, but really as a divine map. It's here to guide you on the journey of clearing out what feels heavy and returning to the highest, most authentic version of yourself. So let's begin.
You know, this question, it really stops you in your tracks, doesn't it? We're so diligent about our physical hygiene, right? We do all these things to keep our bodies clean. But there's this deeper hygiene, an inner cleansing that our souls are just aching for. And that right there is where the real work begins.
And that leads us right into our first stage, understanding this work not as some chore you have to do, but as your sacred responsibility. This is the profound, loving duty you have to your own inner world, to your own peace.
So what exactly is spiritual hygiene? Well, it's a daily practice, a sacred devotion. It's really about committing to treat your inner life, all your thoughts, your feelings, with the same care and reverence you'd give your most precious, holy possessions. It's just consistent, loving maintenance for your soul.
And why is this so critical, especially right now? Because the modern world, let's be honest, conditions us to perform instead of feel. It just fills our inner space with noise and expectations and fear, creating all these layers of psychic dust and emotional clutter. Spiritual hygiene is the tool we use to sweep all of that out and remember who we truly are underneath it all. So, to begin this cleansing process, we first have to understand our own inner landscape. Let's start with the first of our sacred spaces, thinking of the mind as a sacred altar. Just imagine for a second that your mind is an altar where you place all your intentions and beliefs. Now, just like a physical altar, it has to be kept clean to be effective, right? If it's all cluttered up with worry or self-judgment or those same old stories, there's just no room for divine wisdom to land. So the daily practice is to gently weed out those intrusive thoughts, creating a fertile ground for truth to finally blossom.
So, the real question for you becomes this. What's currently sitting on the throne of your thoughts? What belief system is calling the shots? Is it fear? Is it that old, tired story of I'm not good enough? Or is it your own clear, divine insight? You know, the first step is simply to become aware of who's in charge up there.
Now, what's so cool about this is how it breaks down the two forces that are vying for that throne. On one side, you've got spiritual power. Its motivation comes from being aligned with your deepest truth. The energy feels like this liberating current, and the result? Wholeness. But on the other side, you have ego performance. It's all about seeking approval. Its energy is so draining, and the result is always burnout and just a hollow feeling inside. Recognizing which energy you're running on, that's a game changer.
Okay, let's move from the mind down to our second sacred space. If the mind is an altar, then the heart is a holy temple. This is the very seat of your soul, the center for your connection to everything divine.
And the metaphor here for the heart is just beautiful. You don't fight the emotions. You don't try to force the water to be clear. You simply create stillness. You just allow all that emotional sediment, the anger, the grief, the fear, to gently settle on its own. And when it does, the natural clarity of your heart is revealed once more. Here is a beautifully simple, totally doable practice you can do every single day. Just close your eyes, place a hand on your heart, and breathe. And then gently ask it with so much love, what are you feeling? And then comes the most important part. Just listen. No fixing, no judging, just pure, loving presence for whatever comes up. So, once we learn to clean our inner spaces, we can move to the next phase of the work. It's not just about clearing out the clutter anymore. It's about the active, empowering work of releasing and reclaiming all the parts of ourselves we might have been forced to abandon along the way. A huge part of this is what's called releasing energetic attachments. Think of it like dissolving these invisible cords that are tying you to past hurts or old resentments. Now, this is not about saying what happened was okay. Not at all. It is a sacred act of taking your power back, of reclaiming authorship of your own story and of your future. So how do we actually do this? Here are 3 tangible practices you can start today. First, mirror gazing while gently moving your body, just being present with your own reflection. Second, a daily remembrance, speaking this truth out loud. What was missing was never my fault. And third, a hygienic reframe, a powerful affirmation to cleanse those old, unworthy beliefs.
And that brings us to our third powerful image. Your soul is a sacred instrument. Every single one of these practices, cleansing the mind's altar, stilling the heart's temple, releasing the past. It's all an act of tuning. You are literally tuning your entire being so that it can finally resonate at the clear, beautiful frequency of its true purpose.
This continuous tuning leads us to the final stage of this sacred journey, embodying divine presence. This is the part where the practices stop being something you do and they become who you are. And this slide, this is your divine map, laid out with perfect clarity. It shows that direct link between the sacred practice and the profound outcome. When you do the work to cleanse unforgiveness, you reclaim your future. When you consistently choose clarity over clutter, you embody your divine presence. See? It's a clear path from practice to power.
So, the essential truth is this. Embodying your divinity isn't some complex, mystical goal that's out of reach. It's actually the result of small, conscious choices you make every single day. It's slowing down. It's choosing peace over that frantic need to perform. It's choosing to be a clean, clear vessel.
Let this sink in for a moment. True reclamation isn't a battle. It's not this loud, forceful act. It is the quiet, profound internal stillness of simply remembering the power and the worth that has been inside you all along. It never left.
And so we end where we absolutely have to begin, with a choice. Your choice. After seeing this map laid out before you, the final question is for you and you alone to answer. What story, what resentment, what belief are you now finally ready to release, so that you can fully return to yourself?